The real reason why most tennis players get stuck and they don't continue to progress isn't because they don't know what they're supposed to do or how they're supposed to do it. It's because they don't trust that the difference between what they're used to and the better thing is so different and so big than what it actually is. Let me show you a real life example of exactly what I'm talking about. Here's a student that I just had recently, and we worked a little bit on her split ready position, getting it more athletic. Before we look at this, here, let me actually just show you an example real quick. I wasn't planning on this, but just think in your head real quick about what a world-class player looks like when they're playing points in terms of their stance and their athleticism. When you look at world-class players in the middle of a point, the width they have with their lower body tends to be about 2 times shoulder width, meaning the distance between their feet down below are about twice the width of their shoulders up above. And this works no matter what height you are, how good of an athlete you are. You need to get about 2 times shoulder width if you want to have a good, solid, strong base beneath you to be able to push off and cover the court athletically. And however narrow your stance is, honestly, is kind of how slow and unathletic you're going to move around the court. So this player originally, let me find her original points here. This is before she and I worked on anything together. She just started a point with her serve. I'm just going to show you a quick sample. Here's me hitting the ball on the other side. And so look at the width that she's in here as I hit this shot. A little more than shoulder width apart, but obviously not 2 times. Let me show you a few examples real quick. Then this next shot, she pulls me off the court. I'm hitting the ball right now. And so the width of stance that she's in is right here. Not even a neutral stance, and definitely not more than shoulder width apart. Let's look at one more real quick. Then she comes up to the net, and as I get ready to hit, here's her width right here as the ball comes off my racket. Remember, it takes about a third of a second or so to know where the ball is going. So this looks pretty wide right here, but this is not her ready position or her split step position. This is just her last step before getting ready to track the ball. Then the ball comes off my racket, and this is the width that she's actually in, getting ready for this shot. 1 times shoulder width apart. So very narrow base. And so I explained this to her. I showed her examples of her point play. And then we started doing some practice together, finding this new, better, more athletic base down beneath her. And now here's where the friction occurs. I'm going to just play a little segment of this training together. I'm trying to get her to go 2 times shoulder width apart, get her heels off the court, have a little bit of bend in her knees. And I want you to listen and watch for her reaction as she practices this. So listen carefully. The audio is not all going to be super loud, but I'll repeat the main parts that she says here. But just watch and listen real quick. And then hit that position. Good. Okay, and repeat. Go ahead and practice. Reset. Getting a little bit more narrow now. So just how much better does this look? How much more athletic does this look? And question, but before I play the rest of it and you hear her reaction in real time, does this look exaggerated? This player, does this position right here look like I'm pushing her too far? Or like this would be kind of diminishing returns, like it's not doable, it's not possible, I'm stretching her beyond her limits? Or does this just generally look like a good tennis position to be able to respond to a high quality shot from the other side of the court? Okay, now listen to her reaction and response here as I'm kind of pushing her, nudging her to get a little bit wider, a little bit lower, heels off the court. That's it right there. Heels off the court. Good. Yep. Good job. Does that feel like too much?
It feels like I'm going to burn out quickly if I play the whole match like this. Because it's so wide.
Okay, hold that thought.
Are you sure that I'll have time to do this since it's so wide? Because it's not.
That just kills me. Are you sure? Are you sure I have time to do this? So several things. So you heard her kind of groan and kind of be like, oh, this is so much more work. Playing better tennis takes more work. Okay, number one. And this was not my response to her in real time. I'm much more gentle. But let me just tell you directly right now, if you want to play a full level above where you are right now, it will take more work. It will take more intensity. It will take more energy output. It will take more athleticism. You can't respond with the same level of athleticism, intensity, effort, and expect to beat somebody who's a level above or a half a level above where you are right now. So that's number one. She's going to have to get used to doing this additional athletic work and this additional athletic intensity. Is it more work to play better tennis and be a better athlete? Yes, it's more work. And as to her question, are you sure I have time to do this? The reality is exactly the opposite. She doesn't have time not to do this. If her goal, the reason why she's coming to see me is to be better at tennis. If she, let's just say hypothetically, she's a 3-5 player now, and she would like to win at 4-0, she doesn't have time not to do this. To be in a narrow, upright, unathletic position, and you think you're going to beat 4-0 players from that position? You think you're going to be able to respond fast enough, athletically enough, when the ball's coming faster, harder, lower, and you have less time to react because they're that much better at tennis than you? You don't have time not to do this. But the friction comes in where this is just so different than what she's used to. And yes, it's more work. Yes, it's a little uncomfortable. And we don't want to believe that it's going to take this much. Like, we want to believe that, oh, well, maybe I can just massage what I'm used to doing, just, 5%, 10%. I don't want to push things too far. I don't want to make this too hard. And you have to take all of that, wipe the slate clean, brush or throw everything off the table. All of those kind of half measures that you want to believe are going to get the job done for you, throw it all out. You're going to have to do something dramatically different than you're used to if you've been at the same level for several years and you've been kind of stuck for a little while. The solution is not in half measures. The solution is not in surface level polishing or tips or tricks. The solution, if you've been at the same level for years and you want to jump up a full level from 3-0 to 3-5 or 3-5 to 4-0, you're going to have to do things very differently than you're used to. Athleticism-wise, intensity-wise, technique-wise, whatever that happens to be for you and your personal habits. Contact points, reaction time, athleticism with your kinetic chain, using bigger parts of the body, relaxation, being more efficient. It's all going to have to be completely different. And at first, this is the biggest obstacle in people's way. The first time you try it, it feels like there's no chance that this is correct. There's no way I need to do this much. It's not possible that my position needs to be this different. And the unfortunate truth is it does. But that first interaction, that first experience of the new thing, the contrast is so big that it feels impossible. It feels like no way. It feels like, are you sure? And I appreciate the student's transparency, and I appreciate her willingness to just say exactly what she's thinking. And I think this is the underlying thought in just about everybody's head when they go out and try the new and better, more athletic, higher level way of doing things. It seems like no way. But I'm here to say yes way. It's going to have to be way more different than what you think it is. So this applies, this is just an individual example. I want you to take this mentality and this viewpoint and perspective and apply it to your entire game. Your footwork, your technique, your mental game, your strategy, all of it. Just assume that the better way of doing things is going to be wildly different than what you're used to. And if you go into the learning process, the training process with that assumption, you're going to try more different things. You're going to leave your comfort zone more frequently, and you're going to give yourself much bigger opportunity to actually move the needle and actually move in a positive direction. Hope that makes sense. I just thought this example was just a great illustration of this idea, this principle. Hopefully it's helpful to you. Thanks for watching. Keep up the great work on your game. I'll talk to you again soon.